when I was growing up, everybody played outside. All the neighborhood kids.
Yeah, we didn't have phones.
We didn't have phones, you know, and it was a nice community atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I don't see that anymore when I
not
go
at
to
all,
the
bro. I
States.
don't.
This feeling that I feel right now, is what I felt in the States in the early 2000s. You're tied to a location.
Yep.
So even though on paper you get the golden handcuffs, right? You don't have a sense of freedom.
Yeah. What's up, man? You from here?
No, I'm just visiting.
Where are you from?
I'm from the States, but I'm Vietnamese.
You're Vietnamese? Shout out. Where from the States are you?
Indiana.
Indiana. I'm from New York.
New York.
Yeah. Is that East Coast? East Coast.
East Coast.
So are you living here now?
I live here now, yeah.
Dude, this area is so beautiful.
It's this part is all brand new.
Is it like the wealthy kind of like upscale?
Yeah, upscale kind of
I felt
neighborhood.
that. Yeah.
When you like go down this street, you'll see like people driving Lambos. You'll see people driving Porsches.
And just for perspective, for people who aren't from Vietnam, buying a Lambo here is not like buying a Lambo back home, right?
Not even close. It costs twice as much.
That's crazy.
Just because of import tax.
Import tax,
And then two is like, you have to pay cash. There's no credit. There's no finance.
So let's say someone's buying like the new Lambo. How much are they putting out, like straight from their pocket?
Straight from the pocket?
Yeah.
They have to put 10% down. So say if you buy a brand new like Urus or something.
Urus,
right?
yeah.
So if you brand new Urus, I think it depends on the specific dealership you go to.
Yeah.
But I think the retail price right now is generally between like 300K or 400K USD.
Yeah.
So you would have to put like at least for that kind of the brand new models like 2025, you have to put at least 25% down.
Jesus.
And then you can pay in installments, but everything has to be all cash. There's no credit system.
God.
There's no like.
Oh my God. So people who have money here have money.
They have money. Yeah, exactly. They like pretty much save up.
It's like old money type of thing. Yeah.
It's not just that. There's a lot of brand new money here too. Because like here. Here in Saigon, basically, is traditional finance. If you go to like Da Nang, it's more like fintech.
Yeah.
So starting out like crypto.
And Hanoi is like old. Like
that's where all the money is.
That's where all.
If you ever go there, like,
I went to Hanoi. I went to the Westlake area. Also beautiful. Yeah.
You'll see like the levels of wealth between the three cities.
I did, man. I'm seeing that, and I love to see like all sides of it.
Yeah.
And this, I think this is gonna really give people a different perspective.
Vietnam is like it's such a crazy dichotomy because it's such a growing country, developing country right now.
Absolutely.
Like their GDP is growing at an insane rate every year.
The way I see it, in the last 3 years when I've come to Vietnam,
it's changed
I've
a lot.
only seen it going up, and it rapidly too.
Yeah,
like,
rapidly.
Development is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So I'm so curious to see what it's gonna look like in the next 10 years.
That's what I'm saying too, because like.
So what made you make the move? I'm sorry to ask.
Yeah. Because like obviously my roots.
Because there might be people watching who are thinking about doing this.
Yeah, because my roots are here, right? And like obviously. I felt more at home here than the States, because obviously I was born and raised in the States, but, culturally, I felt more at home here.
Do you feel like the States lacks culture, lacks family, lacks that?
When I was growing up, people,
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 27, by the way.
Okay, so I'm a little bit older than you.
Okay, yeah. So when I was growing up, everybody played outside. All the neighborhood kids.
Yeah, we didn't have phones.
We didn't have phones, and it was a nice community atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I don't see that anymore when I
not
go
at
to
all,
the
bro.
States.
I don't see kids playing outside.
I don't see that, man. It's like
everybody's always at each other's necks about something, politics, this,
and
that.
there's this weird like if you live in a suburban neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Like especially like an HOA or whatever.
Yes.
You can sense this like really
resentment and
tension. And weird.
Here it doesn't feel like that.
No, it's a community thing. Like,
and that's what I try to tell you guys always, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
It's a vibe thing. I can't explain it, you know?
And I don't get this same, like this is like, this feeling that I feel right now is what I felt in the States in the early 2000s. You know, like that's the same vibe that I get.
Yeah.
So
and doing what you did, was it difficult? Like uprooting your life, changing?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a little bit, the transition's a little bit easier for me because I can speak the language.
You speak the language, yeah.
But for others, who are uprooting their entire life and everything they know, it's a very difficult,
But you would recommend it though?
Absolutely, yeah.
Are you married? You have children?
No.
Okay.
I'm single, man.
You're enjoying life. That's what's up. Enjoy it, man.
I'm not in a rush.
I just got married like last year, like not even 2 years ago.
Not even 2 years ago, yeah.
But I recommend it, absolutely, when you find the right person.
Yeah, let's keep walking. Yeah,
let's go.
How many subscribers you got so far?
So I've been doing this for about 2.5 years. I've almost at 175,000.
Oh, hell yeah. I kind of want to do the same thing, actually.
Cool, man. Yeah. What's your name, bro? Gordon Meyer. Nice to meet you, bro. Guys, you heard a man who actually did that, made a move. So it's not impossible, guys.
It's not impossible. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you're in the States, right?
Yeah.
There's this huge like financial stress.
Always.
Just based off the system, right? So, if you have a mortgage, or if you're tied down with rent, or you know, if you have a family already, if you have kids or whatever, you wouldn't be able to accomplish this kind of lifestyle.
No.
So
no, absolutely
like
not.
If you
even if you're doing really well, like my brother and his wife both make 6 figures, but they can't buy a house in New Jersey.
But also, here's the thing too, is you're also tied to that system. If you have a job, you're tied to your boss, you're tied to a location.
Yep.
So even though on paper you get the golden handcuffs, right? You don't have a sense of freedom.
That's so true.
You know,
that's so true. So and people don't understand, like, until you feel that freedom, because we're kind of living a bubble in the US,
we are,
right? We think we're in the best place, number one, this and that.
Yeah.
But once you leave and you experience that freedom that you just spoke about.
Absolutely. But I want to preface this by saying to all your viewers,
yes,
like, no country is perfect. Even here, there's, you know, obviously there's cons, right?
Yes.
You have to maximize the pros and cons and write them down and see for yourself if you can live with them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if the pros outweigh the cons for you, then that's the place for you.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? So
like basically come visit, see for
spend
some time. Don't spend 2 days.
You have to
spend
be
a week
boots on the ground.
Yep.
Boots on the ground is the most important thing I can ever recommend anybody to see it with your own eyes first.
Absolutely.
Don't listen to anybody that tells you like, oh, you shouldn't go to this place or whatever,
or that you should, because we're human beings. It's subjective. What might be nice for you might not be nice for me. So
it's all has to be compatible with you and your lifestyle, right?
Absolutely.
So go see it for yourself. That's the main thing I would recommend anybody
for sure
if they're thinking about this kind of lifestyle.
Got it.
Is seeing it for yourself with your own eyes. There's a lot of media that kind of like, you know, there's a lot of propaganda out there.
Are you a businessman or are you a employer? I'm
a businessman.
So you're not tied down.
No, I'm not tied down by anything.
Okay.
For me, right now, I have investments that I just live off of.
Okay.
So
to do this, to make this move, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But to make this move, would you say that you have to find something that you can kind of do on your own?
Yes, I definitely agree, because in my opinion, for this lifestyle to work, you have to have things that are basically ventures or investments or businesses that are not tied to a location.
Kind of like mailbox money.
Mailbox money, yeah, exactly. So for me, I have a couple properties and I have in the States.
Okay.
And you know, throughout the year, like, I basically just collect the rent and then just live off the investment income, and then I invest some of it into the stock market.
And you can do that because you live in Vietnam.
Exactly.
Right now, if you take that same income and try to go do it in the States, you could do it.
You could do it.
But your life is going to be not as
You're going to be a lot more stressed, but it would basically the opportunity cost. It would basically on the time scale, it would take you longer to accomplish the goals you want.
Exactly.
To do, you know?
And the things that you want to achieve.
Exactly.
So you've kind of cheated the system in a way.
Yeah,
both of us.
I kind of saw it. You know how the older generation was doing it.
Absolutely.
I think there's so many better ways of being more efficient and doing things.
Well, they were sold the dream of going. Like my dad left for the States. I'm sure your dad did too. Like all of our parents, they left because they were sold that American dream.
Right.
But I feel like
at that time, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
At that time, it was absolutely the right decision to go to the States.
Absolutely, because at that time, economics were different. That dream that they spoke about was still alive.
Was still alive back then.
I think we can all agree that dream is not either. It's not as alive as it was.
I think it's become too saturated now.
Yes, absolutely.
And you have to go to where you're basically appreciated, but also where you're maximize your entire potential.
Yeah, right? And where your money goes.
Where your money goes further.
Absolutely.
Build generational wealth. Like, that's the main thing. Like,
absolutely. Now, do you live here with family, or are you just kind of doing this on your own?
I did, yeah, for a little bit, and then I kind of wanted more like comforts and kind of. You know, I can still like go see family and stuff, but I kind of wanted to live my own.
Meaning like, are you living here alone, or do you have people?
I have people. I have
so that helps
here.
too. Then.
Yeah, that helps a lot, and I have friends here too.
Cool.
The biggest thing is about moving abroad. When you first move abroad, it's gonna be incredibly lonely, right?
Yeah. That's for sure.
You know absolutely zero people.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I didn't know like anybody.
Yeah.
Besides my family,
Okay.
I didn't know anybody. But the one advice I recommend for everybody is, you know, getting out of your comfort zone and
That's
just
what I always say.
go out and just meet as many people as you can. Find similar interests that you want to do. Like for example, with me, I love to go fishing. So I met like guys I love go fishing, and
you guys just go to the river and fish?
River and fish.
That's awesome.
Or like there's like a couple lakes here too.
Meaning happiness doesn't have to come from spending a lot of money.
No, it doesn't.
River
It doesn't.
fishing is free.
It's free, man. But yeah, that's the thing is like you find whatever you already have interests that you're interested in, like
Absolutely.
music, you know,
Absolutely, yeah.
whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And finding people that share the same interests.
Similar
that's
interests.
That's the main
Absolutely.
thing.
But also like what you said about being lonely or solitude, it does a lot for a person too. You get to learn who you are.
Absolutely.
Because when you grow up around your family, around this, you have this kind of way of doing things the way they do things.
Right.
And there are certain ways that there's certain things that you want to shed from that too as well, right?
Exactly,
so you learn who you are and what you truly want.
Yeah.
You know.
That's not to say like here there's obviously some cons living here too, right?
Absolutely. But as you mentioned before, bro, every place has its pros and cons.
Place,
yeah. I mean,
but for me, when I weighed it down, at both places, both in the States and where I'm living now in Vietnam,
yeah,
the pros outweigh the cons for me.
Man, look at this, guys. We took a little walk.
I know. I have gone to this area quite a bit of times.
Nice.
It's such a nice
Look
area.
at this, man. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Right
People
by
just
the river.
chilling out and enjoying coffee.
Fishing. And this is where you come fish? You can come fish
I
here?
usually come down further.
Cool.
But yeah, usually there's like a little, you know, pay for rent, private lake that you can pay to fish, and they just stock the lake there.
And the name of this area for the people watching is called
Tao Ding.
Tao Dien.
Yeah, Tao Ding. It's you can see it, like there's a lot of expats that love this area.
Yeah, and I think the British International School being here also attracts a lot of foreign expat influence.
That one's been around for a while, I know, but yeah, this place is really trendy with like foreigners.
Yeah.
And you can see like just how like these
some of the cafes,
modern cafes look and everything too,
absolutely.
just to kind of appeal to foreigners here.
So if you're gonna recommend someone a place that they must visit if they come here that's different from what they see, where would you recommend them to come?
Yeah, I would say District 7, Phu My Hương.
Okay.
Here for sure.
Yeah.
Try to avoid like, you know, Bui Vieng Street. Like,
it's just the same touristy stuff.
Not just that, I just hate like loud noises.
Yeah.
It might fit for somebody who loves to party and things like that. But
yeah, it might be good. Yeah, I'm like you. I like quiet.
I like quiet. Yeah,
I've been around the city my whole life, so being in this quiet is nice.
This is why I love the quiet.
Yeah.
It's like it's chill, peaceful.
Yeah, man. There it is, guys. You heard it. From Mr. Gordon, man. It's possible. The life is possible. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
I want to say something in Vietnamese.
Okay, go ahead.
Viewers.
Yeah, please.
Các bạn nếu mà mình muốn về Việt Nam á, tại vì mình thấy cuộc sống ở Mỹ hay là nước ngoài á là không có hợp với mình, thì cố gắng dọn qua đây, ở cuộc sống ở đây, thấy nếu mà mình hợp á thì cố lên.